Okay, so like he said, I'm Tiara, and obviously I'm a senior here at Front Range. I'm just going to open with a word of prayer, and then we'll get into things. Okay. Dear God, thank you so much for this day. Thank you that we can go to a Christian school so we can do cool Bible projects like this. I thank you that everyone's here, and that it'll just be a great time. Amen. Okay, so first, just a little bit about myself. Again, I'm a senior, obviously, the Senior Capstone. I love theater and I love kids, and I've been going here for 4 years since freshman year, and it's been pretty good so far. So for my first semester project, what I did was when Mr. Butler asked us, like, what do you struggle with and everything, or like, what virtue do you struggle with, I was just like, I struggle with patience, and also, this is not necessarily a virtue, but I struggle with procrastination. And so, which I'm sure we all do. And so, basically, I was like, what can I do to, like, help that? And so, I thought of just to clear social media out of my life pretty much for a month, which was really hard because I'm on it all the time, and I'm just, like, always focused on that and everything. And, yeah, so I just deleted all social media right off of my phone and everything, and the first week was really hard because I was like, what do I do now? Because, like, what I meant to do it to, like, focus on school and focus on God and everything, but that didn't work for the first week. And so for the first week, I just sat there and I was like, I don't know what to do. Like, I'm just bored all the time and everything. So finally, after, like, the first week, I was like, okay, I'm just going to start reading my Bible and, like, paying attention to God because, like, I really don't like focusing on school, which I'm sure many of us are in that boat. Just, yeah. And so I started reading the Bible, and I started pressing into the Word and pressing into God more and just, like, really focusing on Him and just paying attention to what He was saying to me and trying to teach me through that time because I just didn't know what to do, and I felt bored all the time, and which really shouldn't have happened. And so that's just how I felt. And after that, after a little bit of just reading the Bible, God was, like, motivating me. He was like, you can do school. Like, you can finish strong. And I was like, okay, I can do this. And so I started working on school, and I started doing all that. And, yeah, and so one time I was having a conversation with a friend, and we were talking and everything, and he just suddenly goes, wow, this is really nice to have a conversation with you when you're not on your phone. And I was like, that is the saddest thing I've ever heard, because I didn't even realize that every time I'm talking to someone, I'm just, like, on my phone. I didn't realize I wasn't fully engaged, which was really sad to me. And so that really changed me. Just that sentence that my friend said, it just changed, like, how I felt and, like, what I was doing and everything. So when I went back on social media, I just, like, made sure every time I had a conversation, I was just, like, all in the conversation, and I just paid attention. And that's what I learned through it, is just to be all in a conversation and also just keep pressing into God, because He can motivate you to do things and He can push you to do things. And for my second semester presentation or experience, I really loved. So I really struggle in, like, science particularly. And so I was really struggling in chemistry and everything, so I was like, what can I do? Because I didn't want to fail it because it's my senior year, and I don't want to redo anything. So my parents and I, we went to Mr. Hackett, and we were like, what can we do so that I don't fail chemistry? Because that'd be really upsetting. So he thought about it for a while, and then he was like, you said you like kids, right? And I was like, yeah, I love working with kids and everything. And so he was like, well, what if you go to the preschool twice a week, and then I give you articles on just child development and everything about children? And I was like, I would love that. And so I started at the very beginning of the semester going to the preschool twice a week and just hanging out with the kids and visiting with them. And they were just so sweet and so great, and I just loved it so much. And then it came around where Mr. Butler and Mr. Spector was like, okay, what do you want to do for your professional capstone? And I was like, I have no idea, because I want to be a teacher just like my mom was, and that would be really great for me. And then I was like, I talked to Mr. Butler, and I was like, I'm doing this thing for my science credit. Like, could I do this for my capstone too? He was like, actually, that's a great idea, because you already have a reading portion of it with the articles, and you have, like, a service project. And I was like, well, this is great. So I get to do what I love while doing my science credit and my senior project. And so I went over there twice a week, and I just visited with the kids, and I hung out with them, and I loved them so much, and they were just so great with me, and so just so amazing, and they loved me, and I loved them, and it was just, I don't know, it was just great. Um, uh, I realized that I wanted to be a teacher because, again, I love kids, but like I'm also like a kid at heart, so like I can understand them, and I feel like adults most of the time are just like, okay, you're a kid, and they just like put off what kids say, but like since I'm a kid at heart, I'm just like, I understand you, like I understand that you have struggles and everything, because I do too, and so it's just great being with kids, and I've realized being with them and everything, like this is my calling, and this is what I have to do, because I love being over there. Like, it's my favorite part of the week. Like, I go there twice a week, and it's my favorite part to see my little 3-year-olds running around being like, Miss Tiara, and they'll always give me a hug or hold my hand, and they're just the cutest thing. And what I learned from this is just, like, how to love people in a different way because, like, I don't know, I just love kids, and seeing the way that they showed me love, it was just amazing. And the way that they believe in God is so great. Like, the phrase childlike faith is, like, so real because the way that when we would tell Bible stories in class and they would be so excited if God did a miracle. There's this one little kid, Sebastian, and Mrs. Bima was telling the story, and she was like, and then God, he was alive, and they rolled the stone over, and he was alive, he wasn't dead, and this kid just screamed and jumped up and down. It was like the cutest thing. And so just like their little childlike faith was just so great to see, and it influenced me and my faith just because I don't understand why we just kind of lose that when we grow older. I guess, I don't know, but just to see that was really great. What this challenged me with is, again, it showed me how to love others and just be with people and be all there and pay attention to kids and like their needs and understand who people are and like different, I don't know, how different personalities work and just how kids work. And it trained me, like when I want to be a mom, it trained me like how to love kids just because like I love them already, but it showed me like a different perspective of just how to talk to them and how to act around them and how to just love them. And so all in all, like this was a great experience and it was just a great time, and I just want to challenge everyone to do what you love and pursue what you love, and with God by your side, like you can do it all. And I'm going to end in prayer and then we'll be done. Okay. Dear God, again, thank you for everyone here. Thank you that senior finals are about over for Bible class. I just thank you for everyone here, and I thank you that we can have this great time here, and amen. The way that their faith just works, the way that they just have like undying faith, like they don't doubt who God is. It's just like so amazing to see that, and that's how I feel we should be, is just not doubting God and just pursuing him with just love and like excitement, because they're just always excited about God no matter what, and I just think that's so great. Any other questions? Like after high school, I plan to do YWAM. I might do it like a teaching one, and then I'm going to just pursue a teaching career after that. Hopefully I get to teach at a preschool in my future. Yes, Mom.
I find it exciting when you do different kinds of fasts, and it's a cool thing to think about doing a fast from social media. What kind of information, since you have underclassmen here, can you impart to them about encouraging them about a social fast and how that looks like exactly?
Well, for me personally, I think it was really good for me because there's so many negatives on social media all the time, and when I got back on social media, it wasn't all that I had like thought it to be in my mind, even though I had it before. But it just being off of it and clearing my head of it and thinking of positive things when I was off of it, it was just really nice to see, like, to just be cleared of all that negativity. But when I got back on it, it was like there's negative things all around, and people are pretending to be people that they're not, and it's kind of upsetting. So fasting social media is a good idea. We also yeah. I noticed a a big change. Yeah, not being on social media, I was so depressed. No, a huge just shift in like positivity because I when I was on it, it was just like that was my main focus, and that's all like I cared about is like, oh, I need to see like who posted what, or I need to open my Snapchat. But it's like none of that stuff matters. Like you don't need to be on it 24/7. Like when I got back on it, it was like again just seeing like negative things about politics or like other people or just people pretending to be who they're not, and it's just like upsetting to see people not being real on social media. They just show like a fake um, version of themselves.
And just to add to that, I think it's
Troy had a question.
Can I finish this real quick on the phone?
Okay, go.
Is just thinking and looking that there's so many of you girls is just, I've even realized as an adult that when you look at social media, what you see is happening in different people's lives, they only put the good things. So you don't even really know what's happening in their life. And so, like I said, even as an adult, it's like I'll look and I'll see these different friends. They're on vacations. They're having this great time. They're posting all these pictures. And in reality, I know that they're on the verge of divorce. But that's not on social media. That's not what everybody sees. And so knowing that it's not reality is a really important thing. And I think it was really good when Tiara did that, that it kind of gave her a new perspective. So I just think that's important for all of us to know. I mean, specifically females, from young to old, that it's not what you really see.
What was your biggest challenge for the last 4 years and how did you overcome it?
In the last 4 years, that's a long time span. I don't know. I've just struggled with motivation to do school, and that's just been a constant. Don't act surprised. That's been a constant from freshman year till now. It's just like I never want to do it, and I'm always in the mindset of like this is pointless. And like this morning, I was just like, why haven't I done? Because I was driving on my way to school, and I was stressed, and I was crying, and it sounds dumb, but whatever. And so I was just like, why haven't I like done well? Because now I'm at the very end, and I haven't been able to say like I finished strong. So really, I'd encourage you to work hard in school because you'll be stressed all the time if you don't, and that's how I feel. So don't giggle, Lisa.
All of us educators are laughing back here.
Yes. No, definitely not. I was like before it was just a regular teenage girl like on her social media like all the time. But after I was just like I don't need this all the time, so I wasn't constantly checking everything cuz like I don't need to. Like if I get a Snapchat from a friend, I'm like, okay, I don't need to answer that right away. And I realized just to have like be in the moment and have face-to-face conversations with people instead of being on my phone all the time, because like that's what's important is like eye contact and like relationships in person, because social media will be there when you're bored and have nothing to do, but when you're with people, I think you really need to just be in the moment and be with the people that you're with.